Welcome to the fish tank.
Hey everybody, Fishman here. About a year and a half ago, when I first started doing YouTube videos, I had posted as one of my first videos the DIY leak-proof canister filter. It was part of a build I was doing, a 175-gallon reef tank system, and ever since I posted that video, and the ones leading up to its, the running of that tank and so on and so forth, people have been asking me how in the world do I maintain it, because as you can tell in the previous video, and as I built this particular one here, they're sealed units. There's no real access to it. And this is going to be the video where I finally reveal how all that is done. First off, I'm going to give you a bit of background though. The original design and the reason for this whole filter and the rest of it that came about was just as things developed. This was built simply because I had a particular client, and considering the value of the cabinet this is going in and the flooring and all that usual sort of stuff, I needed to build a filter that I could with any kind of a surety guarantee not leaking, and so I did. And my original intent was, as the canister filter got dirty and needed to be cleaned, what I would do is I would build an identical unit. And then what I would do after that is I would cycle the new one and then just swap them out whenever need be. Usually when I have canister filters, like commercially bought ones, what I would do is when the flow rate got to about halfway, I would clean them. So I figured I would do the same for this. Well, time went by. I built that filter now almost 20 years ago now, and it just never seemed to get dirty. So I said, oh, that's kind of neat. So I figured there's going to be a long time cycle for having to clean it. So I started building more of them because if I have a filter system that works, that doesn't require much maintenance, I figured this is great. All I have to do is just keep one or two spares around, and then when I have to clean them out, I don't think I would end up with a big rush all at once where I had to clean them. And then again, as the years went by, I figured, well, maybe they'll work well on marine tanks. And I don't think this is the first one that I put one of my filters on, but this one I've been having running now almost 10 years, and I was getting great results. As you can see in this tank here, there's lots of coral life. That stony coral right in the front there. There's soft coral. And there's also a fair amount of macroalgae and a little bit of the algae that you don't really want. And it also has two huge giant clams. This is actually the clam that's in my intro. The first picture you see as my videos come up, that's this guy. And as you can tell, he's almost doubled in size since I did that first video. Now, I have built... actually, I have no idea. I've built a lot of these filters. And the reason is... I was kind of reluctant to tell people this, but I have actually never cleaned any of them. They are self-cleaning, self-regulating, whatever you want to call it. They maintain a nice, steady, even environment in all the tanks I put them on. I've never had to put any supplement filtration. This marine tank here has no protein skimmer, doesn't have any of the other bells and whistles that people add to their aquariums. The only thing running on this is one of my filters and some fluorescent lighting. It does have a couple of water movers, power heads, just to add a little extra current, but that's it. And like I said, I've never had to clean any of them. The only mistake I made in the beginning was to run them vertically, and even that didn't seem to slow them down much. I did get one or two that I needed to turn on the side after a while, but like I said, once you run them on the side, they work perfectly. There you go, the big secret is out. I've never actually ever had to clean any of these things, and as you can tell, the results are pretty good. It's not, the best marine tank in the universe. I'm sure on YouTube you can find plenty that are prettier, but this has a lot of bioload in it, as you can tell just from these two huge giant clams, which are more than football size and in their girth. and this tank is actually thriving and doing really well, and it has less than 5 parts per million of nitrate in it. And the only thing I do on this, besides the odd bit of gravel vacuuming, is water changes, of course. Here's my hand. I thought this would be kind of funny to show you, trying to give you an idea how big this thing is. Then again, of course, my hand's close to the camera, but that's all right. Anyway, all kidding aside, I think I might actually replace the original video now for that giant clam in the front video with that one, because the colors seem to show up a bit nicer now. I think maybe it's just maturing a little bit more. But like I said, I've had that clam now for well over a decade, and it's been running, it's being maintained with my filtration system for close to 10 years now, at least. And anyway, I thought you guys should finally know. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this style of video, please like and or subscribe. And I'm sure you're going to have a bunch of questions about this. Please leave them below, and I will try and answer them as best I can. Of all the ones I've ever put on, there's only actually one tank that I put one of these on that I had to put an additional filter on, because they're not really mechanical filters. I just use them for, as you can tell, biological filtration. And one of them, I had a large African cichlid tank with a lot of fish in it, and it needed a little extra mechanical filter, so I put on an aqua clear with a sponge on it just to clean out a little bit of the floating material that sometimes shows up in the tank. And that's the only one that I've ever had to augment like that. So anyway, like I said, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.